Good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to have a quick look at my audio settings before I really get into this. Yep, there's that microphone resetting to 100% again. Welcome to everybody, I hope you're all doing alright. What we've got today is another one of the joinDota League games. They've been a little bit sparse on the ground recently, but there's a few more coming up. And it's Titan versus Mith. That is Asia 1 division. Titan currently 12th on the JDL website, currently leading the Asia 1 bracket by a fair deal. There are other teams, for example Scythe and Arrow, which can very definitely catch up with Titan, depending on how their next few games go. But this game for Titan is unlikely to determine what happens, since the top 4 players will all go through over to the finals. Did see a wonderful Titan versus Scythe game recently, actually. Went 1-1. Check that out on my YouTube channel. Mith, on the other hand, are currently 5-5 in the bracket and unlikely to move up, given that they're directly behind kind of the 4 top players who are all doing much better than everyone else. That said, though, a win here would be very, very useful. The team directly below them, which is Execration. I hope I said that right. Obviously, any points they can get here helps them push up and away from that. Make sure that they will at least be able to secure 5th place. So, moving on, having a quick look at the bans. I don't think anything going on in the chat. Oh, okay, we had a Titan DC, but he's back. AA and Alchemist coming out banned from Titan. Those to me look like, well, Alchemist obviously just a very heavy carry, or possibly a very heavy support, although, you know, before he was the heavy carry, and then recently he went through a phase of kind of, oh, Alchemist support legit. Largely, I think, because he can secure his own farm easily, and he had a very effective stun. The stun suffered quite a few nerfs recently, though, so I have been seeing Alchemist played mainly as a hard carry. So, the AA ban, I'm wondering if Titan is thinking that particularly counters something they've got. That seems a little bit unusual to me. Or maybe they've just got an idea of something Mith might be about to try. Alchemist, though, is a heavy carry they don't want to see, they don't want to pick. Makes sense as one of the first bans. Down on Trust, looks like they're banning... Good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to have a quick look at my audio settings before I really get into this. Yep.
Apologies there, people. It seems I hadn't turned the stream off for myself there, so moving on. Invoker and Batrider banned, both mids. I'm quite highly mobile ones, especially Quaswex Invoker, which has been how I've seen him played pretty much exclusively in recent months. Very, very powerful. Very, very fast as well, now that Ghost Walk, once it gets to a certain level, can actually increase your movement speed. I've got to wonder whether Mith are trying to put together some kind of, definitely kind of 5-person team fight team, which would really detriment from either Invoker doing a massive Tornado EMP initiation, or from Batrider hooking someone out. Wow, I think it does look like both teams have a fairly clear plan. I like the quick Sand King pick up there. Amazing hero, one of my favourites. Gabe Newell's favourite, from what I hear. He's just absolutely amazing. He's generally played melee support in a tri-lane or with a ranged carry, but he can very, very easily go mid as well if the Titan mid ends up being a melee. The Titan pickup on the Elder Titan, I also really like. He's a very strong team player. He can run an off lane and at the same time be a little bit of a, you know, edge of the fight, harassy support, chucking in stuns, chucking in sleeps. His ult's obviously amazing, his stomp is amazing, and his aura, of course, makes the enemy take increased damage, both from magical and physical attacks. So, amazing guy. Love to see him on teams. Want to see what magic damage Titan is picking up to really take advantage of that, or whether they're going to go for heavy right clickers and take advantage of the fact that the aura also gets rid of armor. The Lycan pick up there from Mith, that to me looks like it might be beginning of a tri-lane with a tri-lane bot with a nice ranged support now, and then either Lycan or Sand King can be doing a lot of pulling into the jungle or chain pulling, while the ranged support just makes sure the enemy heroes are taking some harass, and that would be very, very ganky then. You've got Lycan who benefits greatly from early game farm and early game levels, so he'll be able to pick him up quickly. You've got Sand King who's able to find his own farm and his own levels without sucking them away from the carry. So I kind of like this matchup, as long as they get some ranged in there as well. Or I could be totally wrong, they're running in different lanes, but both very good heroes. Visage then, picked up by Titan. Another very powerful hero. Definitely a support, since the nerf, the most recent nerf, hasn't been played quite as much in my experience. But still, totally a very legitimate hero. He's got ridiculous range to harass. That'll actually be part of the combo they're looking to work off, I think. Elder Titan very rarely gets his aura first. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Astral Spirit and Stomp mainly. But if he does pick up a couple of points in natural order, then Visage's, infamous early game magic harass, which is incredibly high range and incredibly high damage and just incredibly annoying, will be even worse. So yeah, interesting combo there. I'm wondering whether we're going to see the aura picked up earlier and that be a ganky combo, or whether we're going to see them in totally different lanes and they're just thinking that later in the game they can kind of team up and make each other a little bit more effective. Moving on to the bans, looks like both teams wanting to ban offlaners. Mith appreciating that Titan, I'm sure, can play a very mean lone druid, appreciating that Titan still needs to pick up their heavy carry, and yeah, banning out the lone druid. I like that. I think it reinforces my idea that the Sand King's probably going to be doing an awful lot of he's basically going to be a jungle Sand King, which uses the lane creeps to tank the creep for him. And Sand King's great at that. He's got two skills which are great at clearing out jungle camps in Sandstorm and Caustic Finale. The reason I'm thinking that, especially now, is Lone Druid, of course, with his bear, is just legendary at messing up attempts to pull and messing up the jungle and everything else. So I like that. And then the Naga, very powerful carry that we've seen recently, seems to be yo-yoing back between carry and support in people's heads, but I've seen her play very effectively both ways in recent months, and it is in the games where she's trying to play support, she ends up having a significant role, as opposed to the games where she plays carry having a lesser role. So I'm gonna regard that as a carry ban. Titan getting rid of the Slark and the Shadow Demon. That's a very strong offlane. It's a very strong support as well. Both very high damage. Wondering whether this might be a concern with ganking. I'm getting weird. Sounds like someone's pinging the map. I can't see what that's coming from. Maybe someone is just pinging the map. Nature's Prophet there coming out from Mith. I'm thinking that's probably an offlane Nature's Prophet, given the Sand King and the Lycan we've already got. Because in one sense, all three of the heroes that Mith have just picked up have one way or another of working in the jungle. Lycan and Nature's were both actual junglers before that became much harder to do, and basically only Enchantress and Jen could do it. And Nature's Prophet can generally still jungle. But yeah, Nature's Prophet also a very strong offlaner. You can use tree ants to delay even a pushy tri-lane for quite a long way into the game, better than most heroes. Keep himself alive as well. And of course, if they do ever want to set something up bot or mid, he can TP right in. So yeah, good choice from them. I think what's really going to make it for Mith are the next two picks. They need a strong mid with some carry potential. Unless they go and push, in which case it could be a Death Prophet. I'm wondering if that might be what they're doing. And they also need another ranged support who's really gonna back up this Sand King Lycan situation. Mirana there picked up by Titan. That will be their safe lane carry. I think it'll be Elder Titan off lane and Mirana in the safe lane. That is going to be quite dangerous. Visage and Mirana, given that Visage has an awful lot of slows, and Mirana's trying to land that deadly arrow, and between the two of them they kick out a ton of damage early game. So they will be looking to get some major harass on. If they go aggressive, Nature's might be in trouble. It's much harder to use treants to block ranged opponents than it is to block melee opponents, because then you can just do a straight body block. So yeah, I think this is playing out to be a very interesting game. They could even do... it's hard to tell what Titan are about to do here. They could do Elder Titan Visage Mirana in a tri-lane. They could do Mirana off lane and have yet to pick up a safe lane. So Titan, it's still very open for them. Hard to predict what they're going to do. Myth, I think, really need a couple of key slots filled. Assuming that Nature's Prophet is going offlane and Lycan is a safe lane carry, their mid kind of needs a bit of carry about them as well. We won't be seeing any kind of puck pickup from them. And I would say they also either need... Yeah, they do kind of need another support, a ranged one, just to make sure that the... Enchantress, okay. I was wondering about this, I didn't want to say anything, but now it has become obvious. They are going in a heavy push lineup. If you look at this, we'll have Nature's Prophet offlane, we'll have, I want to say Enchantress in the jungle, we'll have Lycan in lane, supported largely solo as Sand King tries to pull the camps out and chain pull. Leaving that for Enchantress. The way this all rounds out though is that when they decide to push towers, they'll have Sandstorm, Wolves, Howl, Treants, and Enchantress minions as well.
10 seconds to go.
That will get creamed late game by any kind of AoE, although Titan actually not picking up what I would have expected their next pick to immediately be some heavy AoE, even if that wasn't the plan. You know, I can't believe Nyx is essential when you've got Mirana on the team for the invis and the gank setting up. They could have come up with somebody else there to give them the AoE to just deal with what is about to come out from Myth. I actually haven't seen this strat played in a pro game yet, so I am really looking forward to this. Last time I did it myself, it was a very similar team. I think we had a Brood Mother as well. And some auras going out there, maybe a Venge I think we had, or something like that. And we just all went mid and we crushed, and it was hilarious.
10 seconds.
I very much doubt Myth are going to do that because they're not the trolls that we were. But yeah, this is going to be a very fun game.
Reserve time.
Storm Spirit Band there coming out from Myth. I can appreciate that. I mean, we're getting back to the kind of ganky mids. What they want to be able to do is farm all these people up until they're ready. You know, they've got their auras or their summons or whatever it is they need, and then they can all come in and push a tower. If Lycan especially were to keep getting tripped up by ganks from mid, that would really slow down their whole strategy, because his Feral Impulse and Howl, there we go. His Howl is going to really help all of their summons. Bonus damage, too strong. Waiting for the mid pickup though from Myth. They aren't sure what to go for.
Reserve time.
A ganky mid, TA being banned there by Titan. A ganky mid would help them make space for the farming and the pushing they want to do. But at the moment, all of their eggs pretty much are in the early game, mid game basket. Nature's Prophet, of course, can push the whole game, so can Enchantress. Lycan has a moment at about 10-15 minutes in where if things have been going right, he basically turns into God mode. And it's Beastmaster. Wow. So that's 4 summoners on the Myth team. It'll be Beastmaster mid. It could even be Sand King mid, depends on how they want to play that, although I would find that very strange. I'm almost certain it's Beastmaster mid. Titan, though, do now have the position where they can pick their mid to counter that. Absolutely no problem. Sand King would actually have worked quite well against the Beastmaster, but that's not a problem. They can go, you know, they could go Kunkka or Viper. I would be happy on either of those facing a Beastmaster. And it's the Spectre. Alright, so it could be that we're seeing the Mirana heading mid, and Spectre will be the safe lane carry. Yeah, it will be. That's KYX, my position 1, picking it up. Of course, Haunt is going to be amazing for catching out Nature's Prophet or Enchantress as they try and get some farm in the jungle or do something interesting. It'll also make him highly responsive. And I think it gives Titan the end game. You know, if it gets to the stage where everybody's farming up, I think Titan will have an edge. Just from having Spectre, you know, Mirana, Beastmaster, Nature's Prophet, Lycan, Elder Titan, Nyx, they're all good. Everyone is a good late game player, but I would definitely give Titan the end game advantage based on their draft. But Myth, wow, they're just doing so. This is going to be so much fun. I can't believe I am seeing a pro summons push game. but I am so excited. I think we should be able to expect to see a lot of early game auras coming out from Myth as much as they can. Is my okay, sorry, my control key might have been stuck down there. So we'd be talking things like Basilius. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Vlad's coming out, even though in fact they do have a fair amount of melee heroes. They've got 3, but even without that, just for the minions, Vlad's be decent. Yep, here you go, Lycan and Sand King. They're heading bot. Excellent Sand King tail there. That's a scary Sand King. In danger of running into the entire Dire team though. I'm gonna find that. Yeah, I mean Dire know that Radiant are depending a lot on their jungle. They know that they're going to want to be setting up wards here early. And they can very easily just, they can come down here, they can just make this kind of presence known. And what it means is that Radiant can't go up and get their wards up. They've got no chance on bot rune. And now, yep, that's the large camp there is warded. I'm surprised they didn't get one on the magic bush as well. Maybe they're saving it. Maybe they're saving the other sentry for de-warding. I'm not sure. Radiant Observer being put up in lane. I do like this ward, especially in pro play. It's easy to forget that you do lose vision in the lane. But I would like to see it further up here. Still outside the tower range, but given more vision. That to me seems like a little bit of a waste. But meh. Fuck meh. Dire looking to move out. Visage Illusions being taken up by Enchantress. Possibly just having the effect of revealing him. Sand King taking a little bit of harass, but it looks like for all this positioning, there's not going to be much happening. What? So aggro try being run by Titan there to try and counter this this push style from Myth. Oh hi there, Omarana. He'll be looking. So they actually have the capacity here to seriously, majorly shut down Lycan and Sand King, which would be disastrous for the Radiant. Sand King is being, I mean, he's right to do this. He's being a bit too cautious right now. He doesn't want to go and try and pull camps. Oh, there we go. Camp is spawned. Is he going to start pulling now? I would recommend that he do so. We've got Enchantress coming in as well. She's looking for creep camps, but of course this one's been warded. Got a Smasher coming in. SK looking for the pull. I'm glad other people struggle on these damn ranged camps. Well, he's done a good job there. It's come off, and that'll be what they want to get going. This is why I'm saying I'm surprised that Titan didn't ward up this camp, because this is such a key part of what Myth need to do. Just constantly be pulling and stacking and chaining these camps so that Lycan can farm here rather than up here. Also, Lycan's XP is just going to skyrocket looking at this. Oh, Net wants to go in there, but he's basically playing 1-on-3. As I said, Sand King is amazing as a support at just being able to say, all right, well you take the lane. I'm gonna go do my thing over here. DJERHAIN just came up bot. It's Titan who have vision of it, but it looks like it's going to be Abba who picks it up, filling up his bottle again. That'll be absolutely amazing for him. Haven't been keeping an eye on mid because I do think this is going to be interesting. I think top lane's going to be a bit, yeah, well, Spectral farm and Nature's will push and that'll be wonderful. Then mid will be all, well, they're both going to kind of get heroes, get kills. It's Elder Titan mid though, which I do find a little bit strange, and I do think he's currently suffering there against Abba, who is, it looks like he's not using Whirling Axes because you can stand here and use Whirling Axes to stack the Ancients. Looks like he's not going to do that. Oh, beautiful little courier. Oh, wait, is that the courier? That's not the, oh, there it is. There we go. Beautiful courier there from Radiant. I like it. It is a squirrel rolling a nut. Don't see that every day. Actually, this is England. You pretty much do. Radiant now pinging away. They know there's a ward up here. Excellent positioning by them, by the way, on the sentry ward here. The boxes for these two camps are very, very close, but it's a strip where you can put in a sentry without blocking either. So it will be kind of like, if it were any further up, it would block this camp here. If it were any further down, it would block this camp here. What's interesting is that they've had to put down another sentry to try and catch out the Dire sentry, even though it has just gone down. And they were so close, it was just in here, but they didn't bother checking in that little corner in the trees. Mirana now coming in, trying to interrupt the chain pulling, or at least sap some experience of it. Oh, sapping some last hits as well, and she's going to pull the ranged creep back into the lane. But I mean, this is fiddly play. You know, what are they doing? They're kind of exposing Mirana to creep harass from the jungle and from lane in order for her to get one last hit and pull a ranged creep into XP range. You know, that's not what you want at all. Big rotation from Dire now. We've got the Visage and the Nyx heading up to top. I'm surprised they're playing this so openly. Perhaps they were already spotted out and they knew it, but you know, I mean, them appearing in lane like they did, just Nature's Prophet just immediately runs back behind the tower. So I can only assume that what they're... Okay, I was about to say, I can only assume that what they're looking to do there is push, but perhaps I'm wrong. I think what they might be doing actually is just rotating them out of the lane of the Mirana, so that at least she can get solo experience and gold where possible. Let's have a quick look at the last hits denies, see what's going on with that. So Beastmaster definitely coming up ahead on mid, which doesn't surprise me at all. Whirling axes, he's playing incredibly well. There's the shout. It's going to be more damage. He's actually looking for a kill. Nature's Prophet has come in to try and help him secure it. Wow, NWP doing a great job walking away though. Oh, but beautiful axes there, of course. A bit like a boomerang. They'll hit things on the way out and then they'll come back. So well played there by them. That'll be Beastmaster getting even stronger there in the mid. Hasn't gone for his summons yet, but has been getting Inner Beast, which, given that his summons aren't amazing, in my personal opinion, you know, the Hawk's Scout and the Boar's kind of useful for slowing people, but that's not push. His big contribution is going to be AoE damage with Wild Axes, and the attack speed aura for all allied creeps and heroes. So yeah, that's definitely a pushy lineup coming up from him. I like it. Let's have a quick look at the Lycan. Yep, he's doing a pretty standard Lycan lane build, I think. Focus on the wolves, get some howl out for when things get going, get the feral impulse going. He's going to be doing an awful lot of attack speed when he's near Beastmaster, as are his wolves. Oh, Enchantress there, I missed that, but finishing off the Mirana. Looks like the rotation of the Dire supports up to the top lane was a bit questionable. I mean, it's a great idea in theory to kind of get the Mirana some solo experience, but the Dire supports are not both needed up here. You don't need two people to pull camps, and ultimately it did result in them leaving Mirana solo off lane against quite an aggressive tri lane. You know, Enchantress just had the option to rotate back in there anytime she wanted and wreck face. So now it looks like Elder Titan and Mirana are moving down bot, see if that will be a little bit more safer. Elder Titan will be able to scout out incoming ganks with his spirit, which will be very useful. And it's Visage taking the mid for now. I mean, I think this might be because Visage needs farm, and the mid is currently available with Beastmaster roaming around a little bit. What color is Beastmaster? Purple, there we go. Beastmaster, in fact, smoked up and looking to come in on KYXY, which I think is a really good idea on his behalf. KYXY is the oh, and they get the kill. Beautiful job there. Just through the Mirana ult, which hadn't quite got its fade time off, through the shadow path, heading off that way. So Titan actually looking like they might see their second win in a row out of games that I have watched, which I doubt is something they care about, but it's hugely important for me. Although here it comes, more and more. The gank attempt going on mid, Enchantress being finished off. It's a tense game, guys. It's a tense game, and it looks like all of the teams are coming online. But I wouldn't. Oh dear, and Visage. Yeah, this is a problem that they put Visage there largely because, you know, hopefully, well, it's safe now. But a hard rotation, he's going to be caught out if he's not being incredibly careful. Oh, I'm just getting. Oh, that was beautiful play there from Nature's Prophet. Just sprouted under the tower, so she's taking a lot of harass. Pull the sprouts out. into treants and just
Dire's
cut them
bottom
down.
tower is under attack.
Although overall this has definitely
Radiant's
gone in the
middle
favour of
tower
Titan.
is
That was a
being
wonderful push
attacked.
by them. They've taken out Nature's Prophet, they've taken out Beastmaster, and I think it was all due to just perfect rotations, coming in at the right times and moving in. What we have yet to see, which I'm quite surprised about, although perhaps they are just waiting for levels, is the kind of combined aura / summons push play, which it seems like Myth has been building to for ages. Yeah, Lycan still wants to get some farm. I'm not sure whether he wants to finish off Boots or get BKB or something before things kick off. Beastmaster actually being quite aggressive mid, and it seems like he's looking to push. He's got other heroes kind of very close behind who arguably could help. But yeah, they're not really getting the space. What I would have liked to have seen from them is when they came up here and ganked the Spectre, turning that into a big push. I think they potentially could have got either the tower down or some panic TPs in and maybe a couple of other pickoffs. But Titan are kind of going to be on the back foot. They know what Myth can very suddenly do if, you know, certain heroes turn up in lane and are summoning and all the rest. And here come those heroes now. Beastmaster leading the way. Looks like, if I'm judging this right, which I think I am, they're just looking to kind of scare them out of lane. Now, that wasn't a coordinated, alright, well, let's go and get some kills. That was a, let's show these guys that we're here, that we mean business, that we're taking this tower. And that's exactly what they did. We are getting rotations now. Nyx TPing out. Elder Titan TPing in. Oh no, sorry, Nyx is still there. He just had moved out my vision. But this, I don't think, is going to be enough. The ET ult is pretty much wasted. Nyx is not in a position to come out there. The Visage familiars at this stage, if they were to pop their head out, would just be feeding. And they've got more than enough time now to TP to bot and stop KYXY taking one in exchange. In fact, if they do this right, oh, that was I assume a haunt out there from Spectre. Or what? Just a... I'm actually slightly confused by that, unless he just haunted over here somewhere. He seemed to just disappear. And now, yep, now we're beginning to see the combo here. So we've got these treants. They've got 25 increased attack speed, 5 bonus damage, 4 HP per second, and all of the Vlad's benefits. And that's just treants. So treants now OP. Let alone wolves, let alone whatever Enchantress brings into the mix. Like him being more aggressive than the rest of his team here, which might work against him. Oh, here comes Beastmaster, but getting caught out by a Visage stun. I think they're going to get out though. But they were kind of just, I think, trying to get a bit more farm there and force even more rotations in from the Dire. As Titan come in and try and deal with that, let's see the other carries, he says, pointing at Sand King. It lets the other players on his team get a little bit of farm and have a little bit more space. Because what ended up there, even though these two had arguably been up there a little bit too long, it might have been more cost efficient for them to head back and get some farm in the jungle or something. Titan had to rotate 3 people up there in order to feel safe, including their heavy carry. So if 2 of the Radiant are being held up, but they're holding up 3 of the Dire, then you know, maybe that's profit. It's certainly a valid strat. Call of the Wild coming out now. So yeah, they really are looking just to push. They know tier 1s right now should not be a problem for them. Although this final tier 1, and I think they're probably going to be expecting this, they know that Dire are going to defend this quite hard. Dire have no reason not to. Titan have been, I want to say, that, I mean, they've been playing incredibly well. I've been very impressed by some of their plays up against quite tricky ganks, or so I think they would definitely be able to handle a 5-on-5 fight here, or at least have a good potential for it. Looks like Myth are looking to smoke gank around the side. Let's have another quick look at the items here. I'm just going to take a sec to read through this before commenting on it, because I don't want to make myself sound stupid by saying something totally wrong. Well, yeah, I mean, it looks like I cannot see a single thing on there that I'm actually surprised at. Nature's Prophet's gone Midas, Phase Boots. He's going to be looking to just farm up. He'll be getting a Desolator, and he'll be trying to just destroy towers as quickly as he can. With his lineup, I wouldn't even be surprised to see a Necro Book come out, probably even before the Desolator, because then his split push is just going to be insane. Beastmaster mid, he's the one who's going to be picking up the mech. I've seen that picked up on a lot of mids recently, and personally I don't understand it. It's not the best survivability item. It's for the person carrying it, I mean, and I don't. You farm it up quicker mid, and it's more useful early. Oh, beautiful initiation there from Sand King, and with Epicenter going off, that is going to be Elder Titan taken down in an instant. The Mirana ult has been popped, so she feels happy taking a few more pot shots out there, but I think that's pretty much that fight over, unless Radiant now decides to push, which they very well might. They've got Zedku, I want to say, down on the bot lane looking to split push, so they can definitely take down this mid tower while Dire choose to defend there as well. Nyx though looking out, catches out the Beastmaster, followed up by the arrow and the Visage. Now Radiant have to be cautious again. I like the theory of what they were doing there. It was kind of put some pressure on another lane, then we should be able to draw off some more, outnumber them even more mid, and we can push down the tower. Unfortunately they didn't commit to it enough, so it ended up being 1v1 on the bot, so that isn't really pushing things too much in their favour. It's a bit of an edge, but it was actually then 3 against 2 mids, 3 Titans against 2 Myths, and that's surprise, surprise. One of the Myths got caught out. So 6 for 5, although of course they are miles ahead in towers, and general just push of the lanes, and I dare say even control of the game. Titan have been reacting very, very well, and the one big mid push I remember seeing from them went very well. I think they went 2 for 1. But I do feel like they are responding to they're responding to Myth a little bit, who are really being the playmakers. Just going back to the items, Sand King, Blink Dagger, it's a brilliant item. The pro gamers don't need as many sets of mana boots. What with just being better at knowing when to go in and coordinating spells. If I were training somebody to play Sand King, I would say pick up your mana boots first, or you're just going to have problems. But you know, I think I trust TNK to know what he's doing. Enchantress picking up the Urn of Shadows. I like that, given they are going a lot of early game play. They will be looking to get kills if they're involved. Liking getting Vlad's and Medallion of Courage, which is a very good pickup from him. I might have liked to see something like, again, Medallion of Courage is something which it has a lot of utility that it's hard to argue against on anyone, but it's something I prefer to see on a support. You know, of course it does do negative armor to the person using it as well, and especially under the effects of Elder Titan's aura, I really don't think that is what that is what they want on their Lycan. Looking down at the Dire team on Titan, it's NWP on the Titan, it's Titan on Titan who's picked up the mech. It's Visage who's picked up the Medallion. See, like, this is much more what I'm talking about. Spectre then has been able to go Vanguard, Bracer, and will be farming up possibly Radiance. No, going for Drum. Well, good item as well. You know, I don't know. If you compare the Spectre with the Lycan, who were the people they were trying to farm up in the laning phase, Vladimir's versus Vanguard. Well, Vanguard is more expensive. Medallion versus Bracer. Well, Medallion is more expensive, but you know, Bracer actually is just helping you. It's not hindering you as well. Plus Spectre will have Drum of Endurance, and this is all on Lycan actually having much more farm. I mean, he had a lot more space early game to get last hits, and yet I don't know. I'm not sold on this. I'm really not sold on this this pickup, but maybe I'm wrong. It would not be the first time. Nice smoke gank here coming up from Dire. They're wondering whether to loop all the way around or just try and run into mid. They do need to make a decision and coordinate on it though, or that smoke is going to get spotted out and be rendered worthless. Looks like Radiant are moving to top though. That is going to totally screw with their plans. Oh, Nyx. Oh, he misses the stun. Here comes the Invis. They're going to be trying to get out. Sand King going to manage to escape. This is one of the reasons I like Sand King. Such a mobile hero. Blink Dagger and Burrow Strike means you can basically just get over everything. The oh dear, Spectre's been spotted now. That was a very interesting. Oh, and Sand King's coming back in with the. Oh, and there's the stun, finishing off Nick's assassin. Brilliant job there. And that's why everybody loves Sand King, or me and Gabe do at least. He can blink, he can burrow strike, he's everywhere. He's all over everything, all the time. Radiant Courier there, heading up to the secret shop. I'm wondering if it is. Yes, it is. That's the end of his mana boots. Blink dagger before mana boots if you can. Definitely better. But you know, it's something that for anybody watching who's looking to play some tanking, I would certainly suggest for your first few games, get your mana boots, because otherwise you don't have enough mana. And the most frustrating thing about tanking is miscalculating your mana or not taking into account a mana burn of the enemies, and then you burrow strike in and you don't have enough mana for epicenter. It is the most annoying thing in the entire world, because you're then basically just a useless Mr. Sand King guy who can, you know, make the most you can do is turn yourself invisible and maybe survive, which ain't great. But yeah, wonderful hero, and he managed to get the blink dagger first. He made it work. Haven't seen him struggling for mana. So yeah, wonderful play there by him. I have another. I wish there was a button you could press like this one, which would show you all of the heroes and their current skill builds, how many points they've got on each thing. Because I really hate having to look around at them, but I'm quite interested as to how the Radiant are going to build in order to maximize their push. So Lycan, unsurprisingly, has I'm actually surprised. Sorry, don't mean unsurprisingly. I mean surprisingly. I would have expected, given how many allied summons there are in this game, for him to go for Howl over Feral Impulse, but that's arguable. Certainly at this stage in the game, they do seem to be doing more solo play than I was expecting. So maybe the Feral Impulse makes sense in that context, and maybe he's thinking he'll get the Howl maxed by the time it needs to be anyway. And looking at it, I think they're going to be able to go 2 for 1 here. ET ult coming in is going to slow down the push a little bit, but it's certainly not going to be enough to stop it. Mith here, wondering whether or not they should just keep pushing. But they're not going to. Oh, the Hawk just getting taken out in a second by the Elder Titan, Spirit there. So 2 for 1 for Mith. Definitely a good trade. I think Titan were expecting to be able to TP back there. There was certainly a lot of rotation coming in. Unfortunately, that rotation is going to slow down their efforts to defend this top tower, which, yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. Oh wow, Enchantress even has a troll summoner, so that's going to be skeletons coming out as well. When you have a lot of summons, you get a lot of auras, and all of the summons benefit from all of the auras, and it's just silly. Yeah, Enchantress, maxing Nature's Attendance first before Charm, before Enchant, sorry. So yeah, meh. I mean that makes sense. Enchant is fine at that level, and Untouchable very, very useful. Nature's Attendance also kind of, I would say, a pushing lineup that makes sure people can stay in lane with you as you heal, as you team fight, as you push up against towers. Lycan going in for Roche. Dire don't have wards, but they do have familiars, and they're going to come in and get a little bit of harass. Currently going for stuns. Lycan pops his ult and is out of there. He'll be going way too fast for Titan to catch up on. Boombell though. Boombell was standing there being a little bit risky. I'm not sure about that. Given that the Titan have no wards up, by the way, well, not that I saw. I think that was just excellent game sense that sent the arrow and the familiars in there. Just had a quick message from somebody on Steam saying that Blink Dagger, of course, now from the mana cost now has from the update now has 0 mana cost. Of course, that is very, very true. It does make it a lot easier for people like Sand King to build them earlier. Oh, big fight here. Mith getting. Wow, what is going on there? I want to say Mith getting roundly beaten, but it doesn't look like they are. Spectre now coming in, and they're going to actually be able to finish off the Nature's Prophet. Rosh almost dead.
Dire's top
I think
tower is
Lycan really
under
struggling to
siege.
decide whether or not to go back in there and finish it or not. Oh, and then Mirana comes in to try and finish off the Lycan. And I think her efforts do succeed in doing that, but the overextension then now sees Beastmaster go down. KYX by taking ridiculous amount of damage, doesn't have any mana to get out. Wow, I'm quite surprised. I think Titan were rushing in there. I think they had a plan. I think it actually started working. I think Myth were panicking at the beginning of that fight and were actually trying to back out. But then just turn it around. They turned it around. They came back in. I think Titan were a bit too aggressive on an individual level. You know, it was kind of individuals coming in and trying to do things without a whole lot of coordination. So even when the things worked and they did get pickoffs, they ended up being overexposed, and that's how Myth were just able to catch up. So back to what I was saying. Yes, of course, Blink Dagger now has 0 mana cost, still very definitely, which makes it something much more usable, particularly early. Maybe it's something you want to pick up early on people like Sand King, who use it to initiate and generally have mana problems. I would still say that for new players, it is definitely worth getting mana boots first, because the mana problems that Sand King has, it's not the problem of, oh, I don't have enough mana left over for Blink. It's a question of, oh god, how on earth am I going to get the 400 mana I need to rip off Epicenter? So unless you've got a team strat, or you're good at only using it when you need to, or you've, I don't know, got somebody crowing you out clarities, or another support in lane who's getting mana boots, or something, then I would say mana boots first. But working out some other tactics so that you can get the Blink Dagger first is definitely better if you can do it and still have mana, without a doubt. Radiant here, they're going back to their split push. You know, Myth are sending Lycan down to the bot lane. He's going to push up. Spectre, though, has rotated down very nicely to counter him. So actually, Titan are doing a great job at just keeping the lanes equal. This is currently 4v4. 4v4 up here, 1v1 down at bot. And really, that's... I mean, you know, Myth could turn around and push a Rax here. They're in a great position to push. But if they don't, then this is a waste of time for them. They've got all of the lanes pushed out. They've got a huge amount of map control, and they're not farming either jungle. They're not pushing their carries up higher than the wow, higher than the Titan carries. That said, though, Lycan being very aggressive here, wants to just chew down the bot tower, and is actually going to force more of the Titan team down there to deal with him. Spectre's actually going to have to head back to base, leaving top lane incredibly open, but not pushed by the 4 Radiant heroes who are still up here. I'm very surprised at that. They've got the summons to be able to do it without the creep wave. They've got an awful lot of damage, and I have to say that I don't think they have much time. I still hold back to Dire will win if this goes to late game, in my opinion, so long as Spectre can keep getting a little bit of farm, because that will be the counter to pushing in every lane. Spectre now haunted out, running in here with just a Visage Familiar, getting caught out by the Beastmaster Raw. Shout out to Katy Perry there, obviously. Oh, but does manage to hit Enchantress there, so she is still taking down, making shadow paths. Spectre now chasing down Beastmaster, wants to finish it off. At the same time, over here we got Enchantress being chased down by Mirana and Elder Titan. Nice full staff though, probably going to get her away, but nope, Mirana is chasing her right down there with Leap. Sand King does manage to escape, though Beastmaster did go down, Lycan also going down in that fight. And Enchantress now having to run. Bot Rax went down though. This is tricky. Titan, I think, I mean, they obviously did that counter in there very well. Once Spectre popped Haunt, they were just right in there, and they ended up chasing the Myth off and getting 2 kills. But from having quite a nice setup where they were matching the numbers in each lane and forcing Myth to commit everyone to pushing rather than have someone sitting back and farming, from that it kind of turned into a very messy situation where people kind of left top lane to help Spectre, who got harassed out of lane by Lycan, while Lycan was mainly actually doing damage to the tower. So suddenly, rather than having Spectre going hand on hand with Lycan, they had the tower and Spectre incredibly low. Everybody had to rush down. Didn't even help them really, because then Myth rushed top. Everybody had to rush back top. That's where they got their kills. But in the meantime, bot Rax have gone down. So
not looking good for them. I mean, this is what we would expect from a pushy lineup like Myth have, but what you really want to do to beat a pushy lineup is, at the least, keep your tier 3s in your barracks. That's when things start to get a little bit dire, if you will excuse the pun. Yeah, like if they've been able to keep then if they've been able to keep tier 3 and racks up, then it would just have been a question of, yeah, we'll fight him off, Spectre's going to farm, and the minute she gets fed, there'll be Radiance, there'll be Spectre Illusions, and we'll have so much AoE that all their summons will die very, very quickly, and we have better late game. And now that I think about it, more and better disable. So yeah, Titan have a good chance of winning here. I mean, it's hard to say what they need to do now. It's very hard to know where to go, given that just the sheer number of units under Myth's control. They can be scouting out everywhere. For example, I'm very surprised they don't have anything on, not even a scouting hawk on bot rune. They're farming out both jungles. They can farm up any lane. I think that the dream for Titan would be get Roche, push down a lane, get Rax. Don't worry about the external towers in the other lane. Don't worry about anything else. Just get something to prove that this push lineup isn't just gonna have a fun push lineup game. Does look like we're getting quite a lot of movement in here from the Radiant. They're looking to push down top. If Dire defend this, it'll still be bad for them, because what Radiant will be doing is just targeting the ranged barracks, which doesn't regenerate. Oh dear, though. Looks like Titan have got an excellent jump on. Who is it? It's Lycan there in the mid. Unfortunately, BKB plus Lycan's ult is very, very hard to catch up to. It's incredibly fast, and it can't be slowed down. But it is a defensive use for a very, very aggressive ult. And now Titan are looking like they might be able to find some action top. Unfortunately, though, the Sand King ult there is enough to just absolutely destroy Spectre. The only thing making it worthwhile is Mirana coming in here, looking to get finishes off, manages to finish off Enchantress as well. Absolutely amazing job there. They are going to lose Rags, this is what I was saying. Even if they lose the fight, they're going to be taking damage. There was a gem up there a moment ago, gentlemen. Don't know if anybody cares. I think this is mad. They went 3 for 1 in terms of heroes, but they're still struggling to stop their buildings taking damage. I mean, it's really, really tricky for them. Their only options are to push back a tower and just force a bit of kind of counter respect there from Myth. Make them just be a little bit more cautious. Oh, you know, we can't maybe overcommit here. Or they've just got to find some kind of stable environment where they can just sit back and farm. And at the moment they're struggling to find either. They're doing the best at ganks. And sure, if they just continue to get one-on-one ganks for the entire rest of the game, they'll win. But that's very unlikely. Oh, they've got the gem though. Oh, and Lycan forced to pop his BKB again. Sorry, not his BKB, his ult. Necro books now. So we got 2 Necro books. There's Nature's Prophet, as I expected, getting the Necro book before he moves on to anything else. Already at level 3 on both him and Lycan, so that is going to be a lot of push coming out. Spectre though does have Radiance. That will be and Mirana on Desolator, and Elder Titan on Heaven's Halberd. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. If you look at the comparison between the items on these two teams, Titan are going what you kind of see more normally. They've got a couple of key damage items out. They've got core items on their carries. They've got blink daggers on the supports. You're seeing a similar thing with Myth, but it's heavily kind of swayed towards a heavy summons pushing lineup. So you've got Necro books. You've got Vlad's on Lycan, which is pretty core on Lycan, but Lycan is generally picked up for this kind of game. Oh no, Lycan getting caught out again. I mean, there it is. In one sense, his what he's doing is good because it's slowing down the entire Dire team. Except for Spectre though, who's still farming happily elsewhere, as it always can. On the other hand, if he does get caught out, that's a big blow to Myth. They're going to struggle to get things done without Lycan up and running. So yeah, as I said, this is always going to be an amazing game. As soon as Myth did their draft, I like the fact that they picked up Sand King first, because he's kind of the one that doesn't entirely fit with this strategy. He's got some decent AOE, but he's more a kind of teamfight initiation ganky hero. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad pick; it's a great pick. What I'm saying is he's not a summoner. You know, they could have got if they wanted to get all of the junglers, they could have got Enigma. And the Eidolons would have benefited from all the auras, and the Black Hole would have been the team fight. They picked the Sand King first, and I think that was an amazing idea because it was not the obvious pick for this strategy. And then they kind of, I think, got the what was it next? Was it the Lycan next? And you know, Lycan can be used in a lot of different situations, although he is very pushy. And then you got the Nature's Prophet, and it was kind of like, okay, they're going to have very, very strong push. We need to do something about that. But to me, I think, as part of the mental game, because of the Sand King pick first, it took Titan quite a while to realize how much they needed to counter the push in this game. Radiant looking to sneak a quick Roshan, but just like before, Titan doing a very, very good job at just knowing that they need to be down there and looking at about this time.
Dire's top barracks is under attack.
Myth, the last time this happened, of course, had that nasty little engage, disengage, engage, disengage fight. They've actually pulled back very nicely in terms of kills since then, but they won't want to be going. They won't want to be messing around with Roche. Titan have proved that they're very good at knowing when that's going on and coming in. Wow, kills, death, assist. It's Enchantress who's heading it up on the kills. Doesn't entirely surprise me. Just because her, sorry, the Titan team is very mobile, and obviously, you know, you get an impetus off, and you know, if they try and be mobile and get away from you, it's gonna be messy for them. Beautiful initiation from Titan here. They want to come in. They want to take this Roche. Unfortunately for Lycan getting beaten down very, very, very quickly. It was a nice Mirana ult. Nyx blinked in, just did a whole group stun. Nobody died though. Nobody died. I don't know whether that was a lack of focus from Titan, because I'm sure there were quite a few people who did almost die. Wow. Wow, Myth now looking to fight. I think, what is that? 3 on...
Dominating.
Oh, okay. 3 on 3, but Mirana of finding kills of her own, and Titan now chasing into the jungle is risky with a Sand King there. He can slow you down. Yep, just like this. Anytime, stop you getting the carry. Unfortunately though, when he did his stun, he caught Visage. He didn't catch Spectre. And Spectre being very highly mobile, able to catch up and finish off Enchantress. Dire now going to go in there and try and finish off that Roche. Titan, NWP just picked up the Gem of True Sight, which is really, really going to hinder the Radiant. That Mirana ult, OP, plus the Lycan Wolves now can't be used to Scythe. Neither can the Beastmaster Hawk, both of them relying on invisibility. I'm actually quite surprised that Myth did pick up a gem, even though they have... having the Hawk is kind of like having a gem. And they do have invis stuff as well, as I said, with the Hawk, Sand King, with Wolves. I just don't think it was necessary for them, and I never agree with buying a gem unless it's necessary to do so. Oh, Nature's Prophet, Nature's Prophet and Lycan? Yes, you bastards. They're just coming in on top lane, summoning their stuff, summoning their Necro books, and then setting them all to aggro the tower. It doesn't matter if they get shot down. It almost doesn't matter if they're feeding the enemy. What matters is the fact that that tower's almost down. As soon as it's down, they can do the exact same thing to the racks without the worry of taking tower harass, and pretty soon they'll have mega creeps. Titan, their game is definitely getting sharper. They're beginning to catch up now, but it's kind of do or die time. Yep, here we go. So here comes the smoke gank. They know that they can't let Myth get this sneak attack on their barracks many more times without getting to the stage where they're fighting against mega creeps and they're forced to just constantly defend the base, and then
Myth would just be able to finish it any time. Still, even at tier 1, almost at full health up here on the top lane for Myth. They played an excellent game. I don't know. The first game I saw of Titans was amazing, but the recording quality wasn't very good, so it's not up on my best casts lists. The second game I was a lot happier with, but that was a game where Scythe were coming back from win, and they did very, very well against Titan. So I'm struggling here. You know, Titan, as I said at the beginning, top of the bracket. I think they're 8 wins, 2 losses. Possibly better than that. It might be the people below them at 8 wins, 2 losses. In fact, what am I doing? Let me check that very quickly. Alright, that's just loading up. I'll know very shortly. In the meantime, I'm glad I came back, because it looks like Myth caught out the Visage. I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to look up some information, and then that happened. And here we see these treants. Not anymore, but before they had just so many auras on them. That's tons of damage, it's attack speed, it's everything you need to push. And Myth, I think very wisely, not just charging down mid the whole time. Then you've got a siege high ground. If you charge in top or bottom, they can get in onto the high ground. So high ground is no longer an issue, and then loop round and just send summons in to finish the tower or something. Here come the wolves. I think they're going to get it. Or it might be creeps, or it might be treants, but yep, that mid tower is going down. It seems like the Titan attempt there to kind of make a play, push them back a little bit, that failed, and kind of just ended up feeding Visage to the enemy. Spectre being very, very aggressive here, chasing off, trying to chase off Lycan and Nature's Prophet, who are messing around on bot, but they can rotate to mid again very, very quickly. Yeah, they know that when they get an opportunity, they've got to go out. Beastmaster there, avoiding the Nyx stun, but just getting Desolated. Just 100% taken down by the Desolator on Mirana. Beastmaster wanting to get a lot of damage on, unfortunately, the melee racks. That makes everything he just did basically worthless, unfortunately. He just died for nothing. If Dire can defend this, it'll heal back up. Fairly quickly, in fact. Yeah, there's pings coming out saying, yeah, we need to get this down now. But Titan, I think, would be happy with that. Yeah, they've left the gem wisely, I think, back in their base. Let Myth buy gems if they want. But they're not going to give. I think I agree with Titan's attitude towards gems in this game, which is maybe not. People are dying a lot all over the place. Spectre's the only person who's really immune. Been doing a very good job. In fact, I expected that. Yeah, 3 for 3 and 11 assists. I love how easy it is to get assist as Spectre. It's just ridiculously easy, because you just, whenever a fight goes on, you use Haunt and you get some damage down. Oh dear, that's Titan's been charmed. Sorry, NWP's been charmed. I keep calling him Titan because it says Titan and he's Elder Titan. But the Mirana ult is going to save him there. You know, so why am I saying that Myth were wrong to pick up a gem, given that they would have been able to get that kill there? Well, they would have been able to get that kill if they'd had dust. Everybody underestimates dust. Like, everyone can carry dust very, very, very easily, and it's just absolutely terrifying. It's also, in my opinion, the best Riki counter. You know, a lot of people say, oh yeah, well he generally just purges off dust and then, oh no, what are we going to do? Yes, that's why you need more than one person with dust. Riki's highly mobile, he can blink away to creep waves and things like that. He can very good at blinking out of traps like cogs or anything. Very hard to keep in one place, so sentries are very, very tricky. I honestly think the best way to deal with him, you know, if you go for a gem, fine, then that'll work. Other than that, just have 2 people with dust. Then you dust him, you wait for him to purge it, you dust him again, and he is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Spectre really just looking to try and, I think, get the radiance damage down on the heroes here. They've done a wonderful job here of pushing out. They've got all 3 of the lanes pretty much at the river, but unfortunately that is what they managed to get after getting that Beastmaster kill. It was nothing more than that, but Beastmaster just gets absolutely torn down all over again. Nature's Prophet wants to TP in, isn't going to, has decided against it. Here come the Visage Familiars. So that was another initiation by them, and I mean, it's tricky, but they are doing what they need to be doing, which is keeping Mith at bay with pickoffs, with whatever they can get. Oh, and another beautiful stun there. I mean, this is now kind of Game of Throws. I mean, we do have detection here on Nyx. Yep, it's not going to help. Oh dear, Boombell. I'm not sure you want to be there against a Mirana. They've got the, yeah, they can come and get you. They can and will come and get you. Oh wow, the damage from that Mirana. What I'm assuming happened there is that full staff was supposed to take them back, take her right the way back into safety, not get her stuck in the trees. Nature's Prophet TPing in. Again, they're focusing on this melee rags, and I don't agree. Titan have started playing, I think, if we're blunt, better than Myth. Myth have still got an early game, certainly tower and just lane advantage, thanks to the racks they've got down. But Titan are now playing better. They're getting loads of pickoffs. I mean, it was 14-13 not that long ago. Now it's 15-21. Absolutely amazing difference. Titan are pulling this back. They are in control. So yeah, Myth. Oh, be careful, guys. Be so careful. It's easy to look at this and say, wow, you know, they've got 4 external towers. Titan have 2 sets of racks down. That's awful for them. They're miles ahead. What are we going to do? Well, the thing is, if the downside for Titan at the moment is because they're facing such a heavy pushing lineup. When they win a team fight, the best thing that they can do, and they're right to do it, is push all the lanes back out to kind of the river, and then pushing's kind of stopped. Oh, Nyx Assassin doing an amazing job, brilliant job from Net in this game, absolutely amazing. He's missed some stuns, but it is a skill shot. It is hard to land. He's hit a lot of them as well. And just his general positioning has been amazing, supporting the Mirana and her kills. But as I was saying, all that Titan can really do here is push things back out to the river. If they get a team fight while things are pushed out to the river, especially with Nature's Prophet dead, they will go through tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 and racks like hot knife through butter. I mean, it won't even be funny, and you know, this certainly does not help them at all. Does not help Myth at all in terms of slowing down a large concentrated push by Titan. Gonna get a DD rune here. Looks like on the Elder Titan of NWP, which is gonna make this an absolutely terrifying engagement, I think, for Myth, because we've got Nyx coming in. Titan actually predicted the radiant movements better, knowing and managing to get down there. Oh, but they are going to find out Beastmaster. There's a stun. Have they got anything to disrupt it? No, they don't, unfortunately. That's very sad. But nothing that can't be dealt with, and they are now just looking to push mid. Unfortunately, they let themselves get distracted. Here comes Nature's Prophet. The damage is in. They need to get rid of the creeps as well before they lose. Oh, they did lose the melee racks there. Lycan getting taken down as well. So, you know, it's one more racks, and it's the ranged, non-regenerating racks left up for Titan. But you know, you almost have to ask, even if it gets to mega creeps, with the way this game has been going for the last kind of 15 minutes, is that enough for Myth? Does that actually give these kind of 5 early game heroes enough of an edge to push up, take tier 4s and an ancient? I'm not sure it does. But we'll have to see. Just had a request to have a look at the XP and gold graphs. XP, wow, yeah, this is kind of what I'm saying. This is where Titan started playing better. Before that, it was a question of Myth were doing better in terms of towers and kills, but arguably we're spending a lot of time out of position doing it. Here goes that hot knife through butter situation I was talking about before, and they're not even interested in racks. They know that this game needs to end quickly, so they're just going to take tier 3 and move straight onto tier 4, forcing out the glyph from Myth. Nature's Prophet has headed back, and he's looking to take out the racks. I don't think this is a good idea from them. Oh, the ranged rack is regenerating. Slightly confused. Oh, of course, that's backdoor protection because there are no creeps around. Nature's Prophet actually doesn't have the damage to do that. He's wasted a TP, and he's now not here for this fight, which actually his team is practically winning. CKXY going down. The Ancient goes down on the Radiant side. Amazing game. I think the Titan response to that in the end there was brilliant.
It was a question of, yep, they're going to push. We need to find the time when we can just go in and destroy them, because now that we've got Desolator and all our damage items up, we will destroy it very, very quickly, and they did. There will be another match coming up very soon. These matches aren't played as best of 3, but there are always 2 matches. So anybody tuning in, let's yeah, come back in a second. Let's see if Titan can pull this back. Wow, that was a good game.